Hey there, Bruce, and welcome back to the Game of Fortune. We finally finished the hike death game, so now we're moving on to, I believe, the last game as Devon. Hopefully we're going to win this one so we can see how Devon's story plays out, but let's carry on, shall we? After we entered into the lounge, we looked around to see who else had survived. I saw Everett and Teresa from the first group, meaning that Alphonse and Elizabeth had lost their game. I saw Zeph, William, and Richard from the second group, so Philip must have died in the second game. So Al didn't make it, huh? Hate to say it, but it seems to be the case. Maria walked over to Everett and Teresa, who turned their attention over towards her. Hey, you two were in the game with Al. How'd the game go? Oh, I'm curious to see how your partner ended up dying at our hands. Where to begin? Let's start with... Teresa, can you please have some tact? Tact? She asked me about our game and I was going to go into excruciating detail that I'm sure she'd appreciate. That's what I'm talking about. No one wants to hear the painful details of the person they care about. Au contraire. I love hearing the painful details of your death, Everett. Anyway, I already told the story to William, but it was a 2 versus 2 game. Me and Teresa against Alphonse and Elizabeth. It was a game of laser tag, except that after getting hit enough times you would expire. I tell you, Alphonse did a great job covering for that old bag. That guy's a lot more maneuverable than you'd think. Of course, that didn't stop Everett from strong-arming him, and once Elizabeth was out of the picture, Teresa. Sorry, it was just so exciting to see him fight for his last breath, cursing our names and everything we stood for. It's truly inspiring. Can't say the same for Elizabeth, though. She just dropped like a dead sack of year-old potatoes. Sounds like Al. Definitely a fighter to the very end. Well, glad you didn't go easy on him or give him some pathetic death. That'd have probably been lame as hell. I bet he'd be more angry knowing that you pitied him than giving it your all. Well, I'm glad that nothing that happened in the game was personal. I figured, but I just wanted to make sure is all. Thanks for clearing that up. While they were having their conversation, everyone from the second group approached Laura and me. Well. Look who managed to survive. Everyone but Kishi. That's so sad, Zeph. You were so sure that she was going to survive. Silent, huh? What happened to the bravado from before? William, if I were to stop you before you said something you regret, what's he going to do? Punch me in the face? Judged by the increased anger he's trying to hold back, I'd say he's going to punch you in the face, kick you in the groin, and then toss you into a wall. And I wouldn't blame him. All at once? Let's hope not. Before we turn this lounge into the backstage of the WWE Raw, maybe we should calm down a bit. I'm calm. I'm fine. I just want to know what happened with Kishi is all. Oh boy, how to handle a tricky situation like this. I looked over to Laura, hoping she'd have a better way of just de-escalating this than me. Thanks, Laura. Well, basically we went on this long hike and we had to vote who got to survive by going through these tents. And Kishi needed 4 votes in the last tent, and since... Now you want to look pissed at me? We already had people in tents, she wasn't able to enter the last one. We would have helped her if we could, it just wasn't something we didn't... It was something we didn't see coming. I don't think they'd lie about something like this. Zeph glared at me for a few seconds before letting out a heavy sigh as his shoulders sagged. Just bad luck then, huh? Did she at least go out peacefully? I think so. She seemed to have a sense of calm about it the last time we talked. Gotcha. Well, as long as you didn't make her suffer or anything like that, I guess it's fine. That's how things go here. What's that look? I don't know. I guess I expected you to be a bit more torn up about losing your partners. I mean, Devon and I were basically bawling our eyes out after the first game, and here you three are, acting as if everything is fine and normal. Well, this ain't my first time going through this bullshit. Maybe I've become too desensitized to it all. Maybe I just figured out a way to cope through the pain. I'm tough as nails, so Elizabeth dying isn't something that's going to break me down. I miss my dad, but I was prepared for this. We both knew that this wouldn't be something that we could get out of easily. I guess you've all got it handled then. You say that, but you look a bit better yourself, you know. You think so? Maybe it's just me, but you seem to be standing a little taller, and I can see a glint of fire in your eyes. I get a bit of a pep talk. That's good. Determination and drive are what's important here, more than anything else. That and heart, I think? I can't remember where I heard that, though. Well, I've got all that in spades now. I'm not going to give up or let anyone tear me down. Huh, well, good luck with it. We're only going to win if I let you. You're only going to win if I let you. We'll see about that. We certainly will, because we're going to be picking new groups soon, I bet. Yeah, I guess we should go and get that squared away, huh? Let's gather up. You'll know the drill by now. It's time to split up into groups. With people dying left and right, we can't just do easy pairs anymore. We'll have to do what's the best with what we've got. Why are you talking like we were leftover scraps? Also, I'd like to mention that Ever and I are still together. That should be something to take into consideration. Sure, whatever makes you feel better. Anyway, who wants to go through the first door? I'll go through the first door. Everyone's eyes turn toward me. Gutsy. Someone's ready to get back into the fray, huh? I just don't see the point in waiting around. I'll have to play a game sooner or later. Besides, I went in the last door in the last game. I've had enough of a rest. I can handle whatever Belle throws at me. Hell yeah, that's the spirit, Devon. Count me in too. I'll go along the first door as well. Alright, so we got Devon and Maria for the first door. Anyone else want to join them? Everett, why don't you go and join them? Why are you volunteering me? Because I think you'll have a lot of fun with them. Also, I'm getting kind of tired of you always clinging to me like a desperate lover. I don't know why you use that simile. I thought it was fun. If you're that annoyed by my presence, then I suppose it's fine that I joined the first group then. Great, now you need is one more person. Well, it ain't gonna be me. You can find some other sucker to join that group. What's the matter, Willie? You scared? Afraid that Everett's gonna crush you? Don't call me Willie, I ain't scared of Everett. It's just, I wouldn't want to hurt his ego by destroying him in a game is all. How considerate of you. Oh, I see what it is. You're afraid of Devon and Maria, is that it? Quit it, I'm obviously not worried about those two either. I told you I got nerves of steel, ain't nothing gonna scare me. Oh, Willie, you really should know when I'm throwing you a bone. The real reason you don't want to join that group is that you've got a little crush on Laura and you don't want to leave her alone, right? But what the heck are you talking about? Excuse me? That's quite cute, isn't it? He sees a charming woman and can't help but let his heart take over for him. That's not true at all. Stop spreading lies about me. Why are you getting so flustered? There's no shame in finding someone like Laura attractive. Someone like me? You know, sweet, kind, motherly. A little on the older side, at least compared to William. I believe they call those types of Stop talking like you know about my type and all that. Look, I'll join the first group if you just stop talking, alright? It's so cute how he folds when you know the right buttons to press. Alright, so I guess that takes care of that. That would leave Teresa, myself, Laura, and Richard for the second door then. Sounds like it'll be fun. Well, if that's all settled, then should we get going? I guess we might as well. Our group walked into the first door and the door closed behind us. I can't believe I got roped into this. You didn't have to, you could have just ignored Teresa. Ignore her, do you hear what she was saying? Loud and clear. You have to learn to let her comments bounce off you. She enjoys riling people up. If you give her a reaction, she's just going to keep going after you. Even if you say that, it's not like I can just ignore her. Why, because what she said was actually true? No, it's not. What I mean to say is, so it is true. You really have a thing for Laura. I didn't say that. Didn't deny it either. I don't like her. Will you quit with the teasing? He's right, Maria. It's not nice to tease someone about matters of the heart. We all turn to the television screen to see Belle grinning ear to ear. Though I certainly do enjoy hearing about gossip. Belle, thank heavens you're here. You can tell that I don't have anything for Laura, right? Oh, do you want me to dispel the rumours? You have a little fondness for that lady. Yes, you're a god. Your word is law, so they have to believe you. I think you're putting a little too much faith in how much we're willing to believe a word Belle says. He's right about one thing here. My word is law. But I'm not going to confirm or deny any feelings here. But they keep teasing me. Why don't you get back at them in the next game? I'm sure you'll be able to make them regret it there. Alright, the next game. That's way more important. Contrary to what you think, we do not revolve our thoughts around you or your life, William. It's a real shame. Everyone should be thinking about me. I am the best, after all. We shall see, won't we? But for now, let's get to the fun part. Right, the fun part. It's that time. Let's start the roulette. Just like all the other times, the roulette flickered onto the screen and shifted through all our options. What do you think we'll get this time? Well, seeing as we're the first group, could be anything. All the game types have an equal chance of being chosen. Not that it matters because... Yeah, because you're going to win it all, whatever. Save your breath until we actually see what we're going to play. I've made it this far, you should be giving me some respect at least. Whatever you say. William mumbled to himself before turning his attention back over to the screen. The roulette began to slow down and eventually it came to an abrupt stop. Of course. Is that all versus one? All for one, yeah. Wow, an all for one game. Talk about excitement. That means there can be only one. I felt my heart sink. Only one person could survive. Everyone was a threat now. Everett, William, even Maria. After getting through one game where we could have all lived, to getting into one where all but one are doomed to die. I took a deep breath and glared down at the ground. No point in breaking down now. I could do this. I had to do this. No matter how much it would hurt, I would get through this. I felt the lingering fear and panic in my chest burning away by the growing determination in my soul. I'd put everything I had into this, no matter what. So how about we get into the details of the game? Do you have something in mind already? I have a huge collection of games, always prepared. So how about we play Bandit King? Interesting name. Hope you don't intend for us to become actual bandits. I could make you a trapeze artist at the circus if I wanted to, Everett. But before that, let's go into the game room and I'll explain the details of the game in full there. See you soon. Well, this will be a first for me. I think it's a first for all of us here. This is perfect. A game like this will leave no doubt that I'm a certified threat. Or you're going to end up dead and we'll sing about how quickly you fell when you actually had to try and win. Mock me all you want, but I'll be the one singing when this is all over. Well, we'll find out when we play the game. You're right. Onwards to victory. His confidence is both terrifying and charming. If only you could rein in that ego. I was about to follow Everett and William into the game room, but Maria pulled me by my arm. You got a second? Yeah, well, until Belle kicks us into the game room, I guess. Cool, just want to ask if you're alright. I'm fine, just doing what I have to do. I could be scared or angry or worried, but I just feel determined. Like this is just an obstacle that I can get through with enough grit. You really have toughened up a lot since the last game. Well, know that I'm not going to hold back either, so whatever happens, let's at least not make it personal, alright? Yeah, whatever happens, it's just because it's a game. We nodded at one another before entering into the game room. When we entered into the game room, we were surprised by how simple it was. Just a table with a set of chairs around it. You know, I thought that a game named Bandit King would be more extravagant than this. Yeah, what gives? I was expecting something more exciting. What, you want a shootout or something? I felt a dull ache in my chest, but quickly shook it off as I looked around. It did seem to be a rather simple room, but this was Belle's game. No way it was simple. Expecting something a little more showy? Belle appeared in a puff of blue smoke, sitting on top of the table and motioning for us to come closer with her finger. Sometimes a game needs to be more about rules and gameplay than actual details. Like a thought experiment. No one bothers to actually put them into real practice. But these games we're playing are real. There's nothing theoretical about them. We're actually going to play whatever this Bandit King game is. Details. Let's get to playing now. Everyone take a seat. If we sit down, we're going to be strapped into them, aren't we? Or latched or tied or bound or something like that. You're getting too smart for your own good, you know that? Don't ruin the surprise for the others. Wait, the chairs are going to bind us? Don't act surprised. Belle's done worse things, I'm sure, than tie us down to a chair. And I doubt that complaining about it's going to get us out of it anyway. Everett was the first one to sit down in one of the chairs and Maria was quick to follow. Yeah, I'm sure that Belle would threaten us or something if we didn't play along. Let's just pretend to be surprised when it happens. Alright. I don't want to make Belle angry. William sat down in the chair and after he did I sat down in the remaining one. And to no one's surprise, we were bound by our torso to the chair with a metal strap. Ack, what the heck, Belle? It's fine, you don't have to act surprised. It's not like I put a lot of work and effort into these games so that they're enjoyable. Oh, Belle. Don't pity her, she's literally making us kill one another. You expect us to be grateful? She's a god, it's probably a lot of work, even if she does make us kill one another. God, you're such a simp, you know that? I ain't no simp, I just... Now. Let's not get into a hissy fit over me. It's appreciated, but we're here to play a game. So let's explain the rules of Bandit King, and then we can get rolling. Bandit King is a game where you'll try to steal as much money as possible to come out as the King of Bandits. Each of you will start off with $100 in your personal account, and then each round you'll attempt to steal more from the bank. As bandits, you all don't steal from one another, but from the bank. The bank starts off with $400, and each preceding round, I'll add $400 more to it. Each round of play, you'll anonymously decide how much you want to steal from the bank, from 0 to the maximum amount that's in the bank. After you've all entered your amounts, I'll reveal everyone's choices. Seems simple enough thus far. Indeed, but here's where it gets tricky. If the amount of money stolen from the bank is less than or equal to the maximum in the bank, then the player who stole the least amount of money will receive nothing. It'd be like they stole nothing at all. Who wants to steal chump change anyway? If you're going to be a bandit, might as well go for the biggest cut. Well, beware, William, because there's another clause you need to watch out for. If the amount stolen from the bank exceeds the amount currently in it, then the player who attempted to steal the most will lose half of their current earnings. Of course, this also means that none of the other bandits who attempted to steal get any money either, but them's the breaks. You can't punish bandits for being greedy, that's like what they're all about. We have to find a balance, a nice and easygoing balance. Finally, every 2 rounds, the player with the least amount of money in their possession will be eliminated from the game. And by eliminated you mean killed, of course. I think we all could have figured that out. Well, good to know we're all on the same page. That's all the rules you need to know. Any questions? I have one. What do we do in the event of a tie? Say that 2 bandits steal the same amount, which happens to be the lowest. Do they both receive nothing? And if the total doesn't exceed what's in the bank? Yes, even if it's a tie, the bandits who stole the least would receive nothing. The same goes for if the bandits stole the most tied, but went over the bank limit. They'd both lose half their money. What about if 2 players have the least amount of money tie at the end of the killing round? Do they both die? Yes, unless there are the only 2 players. This game needs a winner, so we'll have to continue playing if the remaining players end up tying. Anything else? We remain silent as we seem to get the gist of the game. Excellent, well then, let me give you Bandit something real quick. Belle snapped her fingers and a set of tablets appeared in front of each of us. You can use this to determine how much money you want to steal from the bank. And of course, here comes the money. A stack of blue bills fell in the centre of the table as well as in front of each of us. Wait, is this supposed to be our money? These are just bills with your face on them. They're bell bucks. Are they the most wonderful currency you've ever seen? Look, some of them have very interesting portraits of yours truly. Yes, Belle, I can see they're quite flattering. I think it's neat. Look, this one's got a picture of Belle posing on a table. What kind of pictures are on these bills? Oh, have I caught your eye? Does the beauty of my form not incentivize you to get even more money? If you manage to get 1,000 bell bucks, you'll get a special bill that has a very special picture on it. Really? Really? I feel less motivated to earn as much as possible now. Well, that's your choice. Good luck and good fortune, my band of merry misfits. Interesting. Interesting? Oh, don't mind me, I was just doing some thinking. Despite saying that he tapped away on his tablet quickly before leaning back in his seat. You picked an amount already? I'm good with numbers. I'm an accountant, you know. Managing money, assets, things like that are pretty easy for me. Don't think that just because you've got experience managing money, that gives you a leg up in this game. I wouldn't dare think such a thing. I'm sure you'll make a challenging opponent, William. That's right, so let's see what I should pick. Obviously, I would be the best Bandit King, so I should probably take the most money. You're right, go ahead and take as much as you can. They'll sing songs about old Willie, the Bandit King, killed by his own greed. They call me Willie, and it's better to die greedy than with nothing. It's just a fact of life. Spoken like a true Bandit King. Well, they continued their bickering. I tried to think of a strategy. What was a good amount of money to try and steal? Let's try and think about the logistics. Right now, each of us has $400. The bank currently has $400 as well. Steal too low and you gain no money, but if you steal too much, you can lose half of it. Half of what you have. Ideally, you want to steal the most amount of money without going over the bank's limit. Even if you were to stay somewhere in the middle, you'd end up being behind in cash and you'd have to do something risky to catch up. There's also 4 of us here, so I should consider that most people are going to try and steal the most they can with as little risk as possible. $100. The obvious amount to steal is $100, right? Because the only way you can run over is if someone else steals more than you. But it guarantees that you will never be behind anyone else. You won't necessarily be ahead of them either. If everyone steals $100, we'll be tied. But if anyone steals over $100, they're the ones that'll cop it, not us. Seems obvious, right? Or am I not thinking about this clearly enough? 100 should be the ideal amount, right? Thinking about it now, actually, it's just the best math-wise. 400 split among 4 people equally is 100. If anyone tries to take more than that, they'll be putting themselves at risk for overstealing. If you expect everyone to try and take the most money they can without overstealing, then $100 is the only number you can pick. If you go lower, then you'll just end up screwing yourself over. Yeah, $100 should be what I go for. But if that's the case, how's anyone supposed to win? Because someone like fucking William would be too stupid to think of that and overblow it. He'll go for 400 because he's an idiot. Guess I'll figure that out with time. For now, best to play it safe. That's what everyone else is going to be doing after all. I entered a value on the tablet and then looked back to see what the others were doing. And that's why none of the other bandits would bother turning against me. I'm so charismatic and respected that they couldn't imagine a future without me. You have a real high opinion of yourself, you know? Well, if not me, then who? For once I have to agree with you, I don't think anyone else here at all thinks as highly of you as you do. Damn straight. He doesn't even get that was a diss. Are you two done having a little spat? Oh, I could go on for hours, but I don't want to torture you and Everett. Thank you for being considerate. Maria paused for a moment before entering a number in her tablet. William paused and did the same on his. Alright everyone, that's it for the first round. Let's see who's going to get away with the most loot. Devon, 100. Maria, 100. William, 100. Everett, 100. Oh cool, even William was smart enough. Wow, full-way tie. Technically all stole the most, and the least. But it's an even tie, so nobody loses anything. Belle shrugged and then gave each of us $100. Why the long face, Devon? Oh, nothing, it's just... Well, it's a little weird, isn't it? The optimal way to play this game is always to steal $100 when there's $400 in the pot, right? How exactly are we supposed to win like this? Like, isn't it impossible? It does appear to be the case. Well, obviously someone's just going to have to be the fall guy. Would you be so noble as to be that guy, William? If you did, I might have some nice things to say about you for once. You can say a lot of great things about me now if you wanted to. I think I'll hold off. Well, the point still stands that unless someone makes a move, we're going to be here forever. That doesn't sound so bad. An eternity in Belle's company. Could be worse. My god, he is a simp. I know you're joking, but I really don't want to spend all of time at a table with Belle, you, and Everett. Devon's fine though. I'm sure we get along and make a good couple in eternity. Yeah, I can see it. What about me? What's wrong with me? Yeah, you're too immature. Maybe in a few more years. Everett laughed as he continued to press the buttons on his tablet. First Laura, now Maria. William, you can't be falling for every woman your eye falls upon. What are you talking about? That's not it. I know, but it's a little funny, you have to admit. Ah, young love, it really is a charming thing. William put his entry in his tablet. Well, I guess for now there's no reason for us to try anything new, especially since it's an execution round. Right, best to play it safe. I entered in $100 for my tablet once more and waited for Bell's result. Another round done. Let's see how things go. The results are Devon 100, yeah. Well, another tie. What are the odds of that? Pretty high considering how you set the rules. Well, yeah, I guess, but I'm sure you'll break the stalemate eventually. Bell handed us each our winnings once again and added another stack of money to the centre. Normally this is where I'd end up killing someone, but seeing as everyone has the same amount of cash, it'd be anticlimactic, so hurry up and make some moves. Yeah, we're working on it. How about this? I'll only steal $50 this round. You put yourself at risk like that? Well, now is as safe a chance to do it as any, right? Besides, depending on how things go, it might be the smart move. Are you saying you're bluffing? Who's to say, Devon? But if I say I'm going to steal $50, then someone ought to take the bait, right? When you say it like that, it's obviously just bait. Yeah, right. Gotta sweeten the pot a little, or at least make it a bit more interesting. How about this? If I don't steal $50, then I'll give each of you $50. I can do that, can't I, Bell? You can make whatever deals you want, and do whatever you want with your money. I don't really care. Seriously, we can just take people's money? Take? No, you can't steal from your fellow bandits. But if you want to trade or give money away, then that's fair game. The only issue I have with this is the lack of enforcement. You can promise just about anything you want, but when push comes to shove, how do you know you're going to keep your word and not betray us? This is usually where a contract would come in handy. She's so uptight about the rules and stuff, someone's going to make a move to shake things up. I know that eventually we'll have to shake things up, but I can't just blindly accept these conditions as fact. You're too paranoid if you're going to miss out on an opportunity to grab some much needed cash. And if you're too naive, you'll end up getting tricked and make a fool out of yourself. Pfft, like that'll ever happen. Are you really okay with giving up that much money, Maria? Well, yeah, but it's like, let me think for a bit. I was like, you remember how we worked out and it was painful, right? But the results in the end are worth the pain. We did push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and planks. Sure, it hurt in the moment, but it was worth it, right? It's the same thing here, a little pain for the sake of a victory. When it works out, we'll celebrate with a glass of chocolate milk. I don't really get your explanation at all, but I'm just going to go for it. No point not taking advantage of this, right? I just warned you that it could be a trap now, didn't I? Well, why don't you be a little... why don't you just be a pansy and steal low? See if I care. It'll make the victory all the more easy for me. If you say so, William. Both William and Everett entered their choices on their tablet. Maria followed right behind them and looked at me. Oh, looks like the only holdout left. Just be careful with how much you steal. My bet is that someone is probably going to get real greedy. Right, I'll keep that in mind. Something she said earlier was weird. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much. Either way, I have to make a choice. If I believe Maria is going to steal only $50, then the safest amount to take would be $116.66, right? Otherwise, it's better to steal $100 and be safe. Of course, even playing it safe isn't always the best play. I may end up falling behind, but that's a risk I have to consider. So I should steal... I don't think she's going to do it. $100. 100 should be the best bet. Mainly because I'm pretty sure Maria's lying about stealing $50. She mentioned all those exercises, but none of those were the ones we actually did. And she mentioned chocolate milk. I guess that's meant to be a recovery drink. But I distinctly remember that horrible and unexpected taste of pickle juice way back then. Yeah, she's trying to send a signal to me that she's lying. Maybe she's trying to catch the others off guard. No doubt she plans to steal 100 herself and is hoping that someone oversteals. Let's just confirm that's the case. Sheesh, this is hard. You think so? I think it's rather simple. Don't fall for their bluff and play the game as best you can. You're right. I guess just feel as though I'm in a pickle here. There it is. It's got to be the confirming smile. And then all I have to do now is play it normally. Steal 100 and be done with this. Maybe someone will end up making a mistake and overstealing after all. I confirmed my choice on my tablet and waited for Bell to bring in the news. And so we've come to the end of another thrilling round. Will things shake out finally? Will we get some kind of mix-up? Let's see. The results are Devon 100, Maria 100, William 100, Everett 116.66. Yes. Perfect. Everything went just like I thought it would. We all looked at Everett, who seemed to be shocked by the revelation. Oh, since Everett I can't believe William didn't oversteal. Since Everett stole way too much money, there isn't going to be enough in the bank, so he's going to lose half of what he owns. We watched as half of Everett's bills burned away into blue cinders. I see, so it would appear I've been duped. Now who looks... Look who it was that fell for the bait after all. Look who's the naive one now. This stings twice as much knowing that he didn't end up falling for the trick as well. Right? Right. Oh duh, of course I didn't fall for the trick, I was there. You were there? Did you have all this plan hashed out long before this game? Well, I wouldn't call it a plan. It was really just a workout. Maybe I got the exercises mixed up and definitely mentioned the wrong recovery drink. You wouldn't know. This happened when we went through the first door in the second round. I see, so this is ultimately just a scheme you came up with on the spot. What can I say, I'm a quick thinker. Though I'm more surprised William caught on to that. I figured that it'd just fly right over his head. You making fun of me because I'm short? No, Willie. It's just a saying. Good God. This is what I'm talking about. I really don't understand what's going through his head sometimes. The inner workings of my mind are too complex for you to understand. The inner workings of my mind. Jesus Christ. Okay, Patrick. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. It's the stuff of champions. You see what I'm working with here? I can't win against this. Well, in the end, what matters is that Everett is basically out of the running now, right? It appears to be the case. Everett sighed as he leaned back in his chair and shook his head. Well, you can't win them all. You know, for someone on death's doorstep, you don't seem all that worried. Do you have something up your sleeve? Oh, death isn't all that scary to me, not anymore. Especially not after what I've gone through. What have you gone through exactly? Some painful experience I'd not like to go through again, but if I did, I'm sure I'd make it out alive. As for if I have something up my sleeve, nope. I got nothing. So I'm just going to sit this next round out and accept my execution with grace. Really? You're free to doubt me. It's not like it's going to change anything. If you say so. Forget about him. We got a fresh stack of money to fight for. Or, really, I guess it's just an extra 400, right? So we're fighting for $800 now. And now it's just the three of us. Things will get more interesting, right? Since you can't easily split $800 between three people. Yeah, there'd be 2 pennies left over. I think the most you could get away with is $266.66. Wow, you figured it out that fast. Yeah, I did. I'll admit I'm not used to doing mental math that quickly or accurately. Who knew all I'd need to be good at math was have my life on the line. Well, your math definitely seems to be about right. Then your next best option would be to steal $266.67 or $266.68, right? That is, if you assume your opponents will end up stealing $266.67 as their default. Of course, there's also the risk you'd pick the wrong number and you'd oversteal. So if 2 of you to pick $266.67 and one person picks $266.68, or all of you pick 67 or 68. Right, but again, there's a lot of variance that can happen. Sorry, I was thinking. You could have something like one person pick 66 and 2 people pick 67. Then you're in real trouble. Well, I'm glad I don't have to think about this one, though. There really are a lot of options to pick from. Well, no matter. The champ always finds a way to win. You know, Willie, I think that's what's confusing me most about you. I don't get where your confidence comes from. It comes internally. It's like a well in my soul that just gushes out a sense of pride and confidence. It says, William, you're the best. We know you're going to win. In just about everything. Right, but like, who are you trying to win for? Yourself? Is this just some ego thing for you? Oh, that's all you're asking about? Nah, this ain't an ego thing, even though I could totally just come here to flex on everyone. Give me a second. William tucked his hands in his pockets for a minute and pulled out a piece of paper. Couldn't read it from my angle, there was some kind of writing on it. See, I'm here because... His eyes wandered a bit before pausing on Everett's, and then he suddenly froze. He tucked the paper away and then looked down at the table. My dad's sick. Really sick, like I've never seen him this week before in my entire life. Doctor said he didn't have much time left to live, and it's just... It ain't fair. I need this place to be my best shot at making sure he got better. The only reason I'm here is because of Elizabeth's connections, so I can't let either of them down. Not her and not Pops. William sighed as he rubbed his arm against his face. I already lost him once, I don't want to lose him again, you know. So I gotta win for him. I gotta be the best, he's counting on me. Your father, huh? Quinton, I believe. You know Pops? Well, I wouldn't say I know him personally, but I knew of him. Did Teresa tell you about him? No, she hasn't mentioned him to me, but I knew him because of the trouble those two caused 8 years ago? No, it was 12. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, it was a noble cause to try and ensure your father gets better. Yeah. Geez, if you'd said that from the beginning, you'd be a lot more likable. I can respect someone doing what they can for their family. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a stand-up guy. Maybe if you just tone down the bravado and be a bit more honest, you'll get some better reactions out of people. I'll keep that in mind. Never thought I'd hear that from William. If you ask me, I honestly thought you'd just wish for, like, money and power. Do you think that low of me? Well, yeah. It just seems to be your personality, but maybe I'm just misinterpreting things. Think whatever you want, I know the truth. That all said, I suppose we should enter what we want to steal, right? As I said before, I'll be stealing nothing. Everett input his choice on his tablet and then looked at the rest of us. Right, what number to put down? A penny for your thoughts, Maria? How about a kiss instead? You know I'd do it, but I'm literally strapped in my seat. Such a charmer, well, here's what I think. It's probably best to play things safe, all things considered. We're all trying to win after all. So you have to be careful as to what people are saying and implying, even if it seems to be in your best interest. Doesn't that apply to you too? Well, yeah, me too, I guess. But come on, Devon. Do you think that I'd give you bad advice if it wasn't... if it meant it would save my own skin? After what you just said? Yeah. Ouch, that hurt. But it sounds like you got your answer. All you have to do is apply that to everyone. Maria entered a value in her own tablet and then looked at me. I'm sure you'll make the right move. Obviously, the choice is 200. The right move. What would be the right move? There's 4 options that would stick out to me as my best choices. There's 266, 68, 67, 66, and $200. Stealing 266 makes the most sense if I'm assuming that Everett isn't going to be trying to steal any money. But of course he is. He's not going to give up and just die. From there, I'd have to decide how I want to steal the most money possible. Out of those 3 options, the 66 is the safest, but Maria or William might steal more, then I'd be at a disadvantage. Yes, I know. Fuck it. I've had enough. If he does end up stealing nothing, then I'll essentially have lost my chances. Maybe there were some hints or clues that might show what some of them were thinking. No point in thinking forever. I have to make a choice sooner or later. I'll steal. I'm going to pick 200, but we're actually going to wrap this one up here because we're out of time for today. You probably noticed already. But when we come back, I'm going to go with 200 because there's no way Everett's going to give up and just lay down. And we've seen the way he reacts when he's losing. He does not take losing well. And he's taken it really well, so he's not down and out yet. Anyway, thanks for watching, Bruce, and I'll see you in the next one.